Athena, and welcome to the Life Learning Institute. In today's video, we're diving into the psychology behind why we crave validation. Did you know that the average person seeks validation from others over 70 times a day? Think about that for a second. 70 times a day, we look outside ourselves for approval, reassurance, and a sense of worth. We crave likes on our posts, compliments on our outfits, and agreement with our opinions. This constant need for validation can be exhausting, both for us and for those around us. But why do we crave it so much? Why is it so hard to feel good about ourselves without someone else telling us we're good enough? The answer lies in the complex interplay of our psychology, our upbringing, and our social conditioning. We are, by nature, social creatures, hardwired to seek connection and belonging. And in a world where we are constantly bombarded with messages about what we should be, do, and look like, it's no wonder that so many of us struggle to feel secure in our own skin. From the moment we're born, we depend on others for survival. Babies need their caregivers for food, shelter, and love. As we grow, this dependence evolves. We learn to navigate the world through interactions, seeking approval and guidance from parents, teachers, and peers. Validation, in its healthiest form, helps us build self-esteem and develop a sense of belonging. When we receive positive feedback, our brains release dopamine and oxytocin, hormones associated with pleasure and bonding. However, this natural desire for validation can become distorted. Somewhere along the line, many of us internalize the message that our worth is contingent on external approval. We start to believe that we are only as good as the likes we receive, the praise we garner, or the validation we get from others. This is where the trouble begins. When we rely too heavily on external validation, we give away our power and become dependent on others to regulate our self-esteem. The problem with constantly seeking validation is that it creates a vicious cycle. The more we rely on others for approval, the less we trust our own judgment. This can lead to a host of issues, including low self-esteem, anxiety, and people-pleasing. We may find ourselves constantly seeking reassurance, second-guessing our decisions, and avoiding anything that might lead to criticism or rejection. This dependence on external validation can also take a toll on our relationships. We may become overly sensitive to criticism, have difficulty setting boundaries, and struggle to assert our needs and desires. We may even attract people who are more than happy to exploit our need for approval, leaving us feeling drained and unfulfilled. Wired for acceptance, the psychology of validation. To understand our deep-seated need for validation, we need to look at the psychological factors at play. Social conditioning plays a significant role. From a young age, we're taught to strive for success, to fit in, and to please others. We learn that certain behaviors are rewarded with praise and acceptance, while others are met with disapproval or complete rejection. This conditioning can run deep. We are wired for connection and belonging. Our brains are wired to avoid pain and seek pleasure. Rejection, even perceived rejection, triggers the same pain centers in the brain as physical pain. Therefore, it's no surprise that we go to great lengths to avoid it, often at the expense of our own authenticity and well-being. The power of internal validation. The good news is that we can break free from this cycle of seeking external validation. The key lies in cultivating internal validation, which means learning to value ourselves for who we are, regardless of what others think. It means developing a strong sense of self-worth that comes from within rather than from external sources. When we cultivate internal validation, we empower ourselves to make choices that are aligned with our values, even if those choices aren't met with applause. We become more resilient in the face of criticism because our sense of self is no longer dependent on the opinions of others. We are free to be our authentic selves, quirks and all, without the constant need for approval. Finding your own North Star. Shifting from external to internal validation is a journey, not a destination. It requires conscious effort and daily practice. Start by becoming aware of your own validation-seeking behaviors. Notice the situations that trigger your need for approval. Challenge the negative self-talk that tells you you're not good enough. Focus on building your self-compassion. Treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you would offer a close friend. Celebrate your accomplishments, no matter how small they may seem. Remember that you are worthy of love and belonging, just as you are. The road to self-acceptance. The journey to self-acceptance is an ongoing process, but the rewards are immeasurable. When we learn to validate ourselves, we free ourselves from the shackles of other people's opinions. We develop a deep and abiding sense of self-worth that cannot be shaken by external circumstances. Remember, you are enough, just as you are. Always embrace your imperfections, celebrate your strengths, and never stop learning and growing. The world needs your unique voice, your authentic self, and your compassionate heart. So go out there and shine your light, without apology or reservation. Thank you for watching. Understanding our need for validation is the first step toward finding inner confidence. If you found this video insightful, please give it a thumbs up, like, and share it with others who might benefit. Don't forget to subscribe to the Life Learning Institute for more psychological insights and personal growth tips. Until next time, remember, you're enough just as you are.